What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And UFC Fight Night Cannonier versus Borralho just took place, and it was one of the most fun cards of the year, in my opinion, especially for an Apex card. Obviously, like, some of these pay-per-views are way better, but I'd say this is the best Apex card of the year by a fair way. There was a bunch of finishes, amazing fight in the main event, one of the best fights of the year. Really good performance from Caio Borralho. Some good finishes. The tough fights happened. Valentin lost, which is upsetting. But the other guy fucking flatlined the dude, put him on a poster. There were some really sick fights. And the card was really fun. So we had good time on the stream. If you don't already, tune into the fucking live streams, bro. They're the best fight companions on YouTube. We have fun. We have a laugh. We fucking make fun of chat members. We discuss religion. It's great fun. Fun for the whole family. So yeah, tune into those. Most cards I'll be live. But yeah. Let's get into the fights. Cannonier versus Borralho. First of all, I'm just going to show you my reaction to the knockdown at the end of the fifth because let's just say we were definitely rooting for Borralho, and I thought he was about to put Cannonier on a fucking poster and KO him in highlight reel fashion. But here's my reaction. Nice shot from Caio.
Oh! Oh my God! Let's go! Come on, finish!
Safe to say we were pretty excited for Borralho. Really could have gotten a finish, to be honest. Like, I'm surprised he didn't just keep throwing ground and pounds. Mark Smith, I think that was the ref. Bro wanted that fight to go decision. He had all his money on that shit. Because if he'd walked off there, that would have been a fucking sick walk-off KO. Cannonier would have stumbled around, and then the ref would have been like, yeah, okay, I'll stop it. But it's like sometimes fighters actually going to the ground makes it worse because they kind of get tangled up a bit. They start throwing ground and pound, and unless the guy's just fully unconscious, then the ref's like, I'll kind of let it keep going. But if he just walked off after that, honestly, Cannonier was wobbled bad. I was like, what the fuck? Did you just put him on? Like, as he fell, it looked like he was out. If the ref had stepped in there, I swear to God, no one would have had an issue. But this fight was sick. I was nervous the whole fucking time because I was like, really wanted Caio to win. I wanted him to just shoot takedowns because I'm like, he could easily just win this fight in the grappling. But he stood the whole fucking time. He shot one like half-hearted takedown in, I think, the start of the fifth round. But apart from that, it was pure striking from Borralho. Won the first round pretty clearly. His jab was really nice. He was landing good low kicks. Round two, Cannonier was landing some better shots. Caio, in round three, got on the pressure. It was a close round until the end where he kind of rocked him. And it was very Mavov-esque with what happened, because I was like, is there going to be some early stoppage here and it's going to be the same thing? But no, Mark Smith wanted that fight to go to a decision. So he lets it keep going. Fair enough. Then fourth round, Cannonier wins. It's close. Could have gone either way a bit. I think the judges had it. Two judges had it 4-1. Caio, one had it 3-2. But they all had the fifth round of 10-8. So easy win for Caio in the end on the scorecards. But fourth round, Cannonier came back, was doing all right. Fifth round, it was pretty close. Caio was winning, and then he just drops him bad at the end of the towards the end of the fifth, gets him down. Cannonier looked like he was falling in slow motion. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's a brutal KO. Somehow Cannonier lived, though. He stays alive. Basically, I consider that a TKO loss from, like, he took the damage there of a TKO loss. So back-to-back fights for Cannonier after losing to a Mavov, but really impressive from Borralho to stand with Cannonier, who has taken rounds off. He's won rounds off Izzy. He smoked Vittori. He gave a real tough fight to Whitaker. So for Borralho to beat this dude standing, 4 rounds to 1 or 3-2, depending on what you score it, really fucking impressive. And to drop him at the end of the fifth too, really impressive win for Caio Borralho. Fighting Nerds TAKEOVER continues. I think that's how many in the UFC for Borralho? 7-0 or something? 8-0? Who's he fought? Because it was like this, Paul Craig, Mikhail, Muradov, Petrosian, he's fought Abbas. Like, I think I don't know what Caio is in the UFC, but yeah, he's undefeated. Prates, Silva, Mauricio Hufi, all undefeated. Caio puts on a great performance. He's now going to be ranked top 5 in the UFC's rankings. And that's fucking impressive as shit because Cannonier's a good fighter. Like, I know he's old, but Cannonier's always fucking old. It's like saying, you beat Blachowicz who's 41 or something. It's not impressive. Yeah, but like, Blachowicz has been fucking old for ages. Or Wonderboy. Like, they've been old and shown that they are still top-level fighters even at their older age. And Caio just put on a pretty solid performance. He was in some trouble at moments, but there was no point there where he was, like, rocked badly. Second round, it did look like he was kind of getting cracked a bit, but he's got a chin, which is not something you want to have to test, but it's good to know that you have it. I'd say Borralho should... I probably won't do next fights to make because there weren't enough big fighters on the card. But maybe Caio Borralho versus the winner of a Mavov versus Allen next. And then the winner of that could arguably get a title shot. He called out Dricus. Not a bad call-out, but not going to happen. He's not going to get Drickus next. But still, really good performance from Caio Borralho. The stream was hyped up. We were hyped up. We wanted him to win, as you can see. I had the glasses on for it. Pulled out some random pair of glasses that aren't even mine. So yeah, it was a really good win. Great fight. One of the best fights of the year, in my opinion. And yeah, really good stuff. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. But Reese and Angela Hill had a pretty fun fight. I'm not going to lie. It was actually not bad. Very reminiscent of some, like, schoolyard female fight, you know, just swinging wildly, whole bunch of no technique, but it was actually pretty fun. Reese pushed the pace in the first two, so it's kind of no surprise she got the win. I wouldn't call it a robbery. If you gave it to Hill, you could technically give it to her. I say second and third could go to Hill. Third definitely goes to Hill. First goes to Reese, I'd say. But all three judges were unanimous, 29-28 Reese. Yeah, like a lot of the shots she was throwing weren't actually landing, but she looked aggressive. And in women's MMA, you just have to look aggressive because none of the shots actually do anything. You can't hurt people with punches. So just be aggressive and you'll win fights. So yeah, solid fight between the two of them. Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up, we got this dude, Aurelus fucking, hey Google AI, show me an American person. Fucking Ryan Loader, dickhead. Hate this dude. No, I mean, it was a good win, I guess, but he beat Valentin, who was our hope and savior. You know, we needed Valentin to win. He was going to win and it was going to be amazing. But he didn't, unfortunately. It was tough. So yeah, Loader gets the win. I'm not going to talk about him. He doesn't deserve my time. Let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Oley versus Marion Santos. Santos fucking put this dude in his highlight reel, knocked him out badly in the second round. It was a competitive round one. I gave it to Santos. He was doing a lot more damage, looked way better on the feet. Oley wasn't really able to do much. And then in the second round, I forgot what the punch was. I think it was a right hand, but he sat him down bad, dropped him in the weirdest way. He had his head over his knees. Very sorry position to be in, I'll be honest. Very vulnerable position to be knocked down in. And he held the back of his fucking head and just smacked him. I'm pretty sure they were a couple back of the head shots, but he was already unconscious anyway. And then, yeah, vicious KO. If he just left it there, again, this is another scenario. If he just walked off after that first shot, he just face plants this dude over his knees and has one of the best KOs of the year. Still an incredible KO. But the highlight reel value is not going to be quite as much just because he did follow up. But still, really good KO from from Santos, and he wins the tough featherweight belt or tough featherweight trophy, whatever. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Magny versus Michael Morales. Michael Morales actually came out and finished Magny inside one round, which is not something that gets done a lot. Like, Ian Gary beat him up for a decision. Like, Malott couldn't finish this dude and then got fraud checked and finished and soyed out in the third round. Typical Canada. Most guys don't just smoke Magny immediately. And apart from Magny just clinch controlling him for 3 minutes, Morales then goes and lands a massive fucking spinning back elbow, whatever, over the top, to escape from the clinch control, drops him, then gets him to the ground, gets to mount, beats the fuck out of him, and finishes him with ground and pound. Really impressive performance from Morales. I'm pretty sure he got a bonus. If not, he definitely should have. But yeah, great fight. And even though this was one of the finishes on the card, a lot of these fights were actually decisions. But the decisions were pretty fun, but this finish was pretty solid as well. The other fights I'll talk about, there was a couple other decisions, but they were still pretty fun fights. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Great performance from Morales. He's now going to be in the top 15. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. EM3 got the other bonus with a comeback submission win over Edmund Shabazian. This was my first pick wrong on the card, I should say. I got the first 5 fights on the prelims all right. But I got this one wrong, which was unfortunate, because Shabazian's retarded and even though he was whooping Meerschaert, beating him up close to a finish, arguably again could have been stopped, with ground and pound. He just soyed out, gassed out, got taken down and got arm triangled by GM3, who got a bonus, but somehow Santos, who literally flatlined KO'd him, man, didn't get a bonus. I guess because they're giving him the contract, 100k contract, but still. Santos should have got a fucking bonus. Great win, though, from GM3, I guess. Shabazian just, again, incapable of fighting past round 1 effectively. Let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Francis Marshall vs. Dennis Buzukja. I picked Marshall on short notice, so I'm pretty happy with this pick. He was a slight favourite, I think, but still. I was taking a risk here. I kind of coin flipped it and was like, yeah, Marshall, I feel like I rate the finishing potential. And he did really well, because in round 1, he just looked better. held a lot of control time. Round 2 though, he dropped him bad at the start of round 2. Massive knockdown. I thought he was going to get a finish. Kind of gassed a bit, but that's all right. He won the first 2 clear. Okay, well, apparently not clear because one judge gave it to fucking Booka, and then one judge gave it 30-27 to Marshall when he clearly lost the third. So 2 wrong scorecards there. Some of the judging tonight was fucking all over the place. I don't know what they were doing. I think there was another weird one in another fight, which I'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, great win for Marshall. Steps in on short notice, gets the W. Let's move on to the next fight. Jose Medina versus Zach Reese. This was a clear 30-27 for Zach Reese. Medina had some moments. He got him down at one point. He was kind of like landing on him a bit later on in the fight, but it was always pretty clear. Zach Reese is just way better. Medina's not good. He's just a tough guy with a chin. He's basically Cheeto Vera at fucking middleweight, but even less skilled. So yeah, Reese kind of just tuned him up and beat him up. He was hurting him bad with body kicks, 30-27 across the board somehow. No judges performed any tomfoolery in this one, but yeah, clear win for Zach Reese. No, I know some people are going to be like, how'd you not finish him? Medina's tough as fuck. That's a tough guy to finish. He's not getting finished by a lot of people, but he hurt him bad in a lot of moments, so good win for Zach Reese. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Vyacheslav Borralho versus James Lontop. Another fight where somehow James Lontop got a scorecard, even though he clearly lost the first 2 rounds. Borralho was just doing what he wanted, picking him apart at range. Not even like Lontop landed anything or got ground control that you could be like, oh, maybe that's worth more than damage. No, it was just the first 2 rounds were just Borralho piecing up Lontop on the feet, and somehow he gets a split decision scorecard. But Borralho gets the win. Solid performance. Looked good on the feet, I guess. Gassed a bit in the third. Lontop put it on him a little bit. I think one judge might have given it 30-27 Borralho, or maybe it was just 29-28 each way. But yeah, I think Lontop won the third. Borralho won the first 2. Looked solid on the feet. That's a Borralho fight, bro. Like, I picked him by decision, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, good win for Borralho. Let's move on to another fight. Next up, Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Josiane Nunes. Again, another fucking split decision scorecard. Someone gave it 30-27 to Nunes, even though she clearly lost the first 2. I don't know what these judges were doing tonight. Howie Booth or whatever, the same guy that scored it for 30-27 to Ivasa. Bro managed to infiltrate his way in, I swear. No, Cavalcanti was just tuning her up on the feet for the first 2 rounds. Nunes did a bit better in the third, started landing, but even then it could have been 30-27 Cavalcanti. But yeah, she looked way better on the feet. She outdid her. Even though normally the default pick would be to pick the lesbian-looking one, I did actually go with Cavalcanti here, so I got this pick right. The first fight on the card, though. Wang Kong or Kong Wang, either way you say it, it's not that much better. But she got a first round KO of Victoria Leonardo. Pretty standard. You know, who the fuck doesn't KO Victoria Leonardo in round 1? She's been head kick KO'd 3 times. Got KO'd with a 1-2 this time. Kong Wang's real good. She beat Shevchenko in kickboxing. She's definitely going to be a good fighter for the flyweight division. She's on her fucking Alex Pereira arc. She wore the Joker face paint at weigh-ins. Seems like a pretty interesting fighter. Bit of personality. Called out Casey O'Neill. Not a bad call out at all. But yeah, also I forgot before, GM3 called out Paul Craig, which is a good fight, so yeah, make that. But that's the card, guys. Quick recap. Normally don't do recaps for Apex cards because no one cares about them, but this was actually fun. I really enjoyed this card, watching it live. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in for the next live stream for the Burns vs Brady card, because that'll be good fun too. But yeah, what videos do you guys want to see? Let me know in the comments. Fighting Nerds. I might do a Fighting Nerds video just dedicated to them, because there's a lot to talk about with those guys. But anyway, let's move on to the end of the video. Peace out, guys. Good fun. See ya. Fun card. Bye.